Good evening, brothers and sisters. So, this is going to be a fun, lighthearted video, something that made me smile today. It was something that not only did it make me smile, but I laughed a little bit because of what happened. So, hopefully, I'm praying that you guys find this a little bit funny as well, a little bit of humor in it, I hope. But what I want to say first is what I'm about to describe to you happens quite often, actually. I would probably say at least once or twice a week. This happens to me no matter whether I'm at Starbucks, out eating at a restaurant, at a friend's house, playing games. Wherever I am, this happens usually once or twice a week. So this is the situation. Today, I was at Starbucks because, hey, I love Starbucks. Starbucks is probably one of my favorite places to go. I absolutely love coffee, and I am a sucker for their caramel macchiatos, probably my favorite drink. But I was at Starbucks, and I was sitting in my booth, my favorite spot, and I would say 5-10 minutes in from sitting down, I started talking to two people. And I've described these two people before in my other videos. So these two people that I was talking to, one of them is named Skylar, Skylar, Skylar. She is what I would describe as this very emo goth chick who loves the color black, loves boots that go all the way up to like her knee and have metal straps and all that stuff. She has tattoos almost all over her body, her arms, her back, her chest, her hands, her face. She has long black hair, and her eyes are quite dark. I would say they're almost in between this very dark brown to blackish. They're in between that color. So she was sitting there, I was talking to her, and then I started talking to Cheyenne, Cheyenne, I guess I would spell it. But she was sitting there, and she I would describe as this Appalachian bumpkin. She loves jeans, cowgirl boots or cowboy boots. She has her blonde hair back in a ponytail, and she loves cowboy hats. So I started talking to these two, and probably I would say 20 to 25 minutes in, there was this girl who was sitting a little bit far from me on the other side of the room, like I'm here and she's over there, and she was looking at me. She kept looking my way. She would look at me, and when I catch her eye glance, she would look down at her computer and act like she's typing something. And she looked at me like 2-3 times. Finally, after the 20-25 minutes, she comes over to me and she's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. And I was thinking to myself, like, what, am I okay? Like, what? And so she's like, well, you look like you're talking to somebody. And she's like, I just want to make sure that you're okay, that you're fine and you don't need any help. Like, we don't need to call, for assistance. And I'm thinking, this lady is crazy. Like, how do you just come up to some random person asking if they're okay, if they need an ambulance or a paramedic? And so she went back and sat down because I said, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine, like, I'm just drinking my coffee. So she goes to sit down, and again, I start talking to Cheyenne and Skylar, and we're, going back and forth, and they're doing what they usually do, which is say the most unhinged, crazy things imaginable. Some of it violent, some of it vulgar in nature, a lot of curse words, a lot of swear words. And about 10-15 minutes after that, after this lady goes back to her seat, works on whatever she's working on, I go back to enjoying my coffee and talking to my two friends. 15 minutes later, the same lady comes to me and says, I'm sorry, but you really seem to be struggling. You keep talking to two people, or you keep talking to someone who's not in front of you. You're alone, so I'm worried for your safety. And then it like a light bulb over my head like clicks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to people that aren't here per se. And so I take out my phone and I go to my camera, and I learned this trick from another YouTuber. I learned this trick from another schizophrenic who has a YouTube channel. I took my phone, my video, and I turned on the video camcorder, like recorder thing, and I turned it to the seats in front of me, and I saw there was no one there. And so for 25, 30 minutes, I was talking to hallucinations that weren't there. And then it clicked to me, this lady's asking me all right. This lady's asking if I'm all right, because for 25, 30 minutes, I was talking to two people who weren't in front of me. They are not real. And so I had to tell this lady, I'm sorry, but this happens quite a lot. I have schizophrenia. I see and hear things 24/7. And so, obviously I was talking to some people that aren't here. And this lady looked at me stone cold in the face, and she was so confused. And she literally said, "You don't look schizophrenic. You don't look like you have an illness. You look perfectly normal." And I was like, kind of taken back, because I was like, what does a schizophrenic look like? Like, in people's minds, do schizophrenics all seem like they're this coked out, drugged out of their mind, high as a kite person on a subway, like train that has their pants half down to their kneecaps and can't stand up straight and is talking to themselves and yelling explicits? Like, what does a stereotypical schizophrenic look like for people? Like, do you think we're all on the street corner, like, begging for change, living in a cardboard box because we can't live like successfully like you guys? So that's what she said. Like, are you sure you're schizophrenic? And I was like, yes, I'm quite sure. I have the diagnosis. I've had the diagnosis since college, so for like 15 plus years. And after I told her that, she's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna, I'll leave you to it. And she left me to it. And I continued talking with my two friends that she learned are not real. But this usually happens a couple times a week whenever I'm out, because I do hear things 24/7 and I see things quite often. Skylar and Cheyenne are the two that I see the most often when it comes to visual hallucinations. They are very wicked. They are very wicked. I would call it evil, just downright nasty individuals. They like to torment me a lot, and they try to dig under my skin and just piss me off. They try to piss me off a lot. But that's what this lady was seeing, that I was just enjoying the conversation with these two idiotic friends that follow me everywhere. But I thought this was funny for myself because it happens a lot. And for me to be sitting somewhere and have this random stranger come up and ask, are you all right, just makes me laugh, because it's like, can't someone crazy just sit down, enjoy coffee, and be crazy on their own? Like, you don't need to check up on me. I'm a grown ass adult. Like, I'm 34 years old. I think I'm 34. I think so. I think I'm turning 35. What, May 1st, 1991? What do you guys think? May 1st, 1991 is my birthday, so I think 34, 35. I forget how old I am, but anyways, that's what happened today. That was a funny story for me. I don't know if it's funny for you guys, but for me to experience it, it lifted up my day, because I was like, this random stranger was so concerned with my safety because I'm talking to two non-existent, not real friends of mine. But it's like, I understand that kid in grade school or kindergarten or whatever that's by themselves and they have imaginary friends. I get it. But you guys have a good day. Have a good night. There was a story for you. Peace. Much love.